in his large corpus of work, the evaluation of what he said, of what he taught, the whole gamut of things called Jungian psychology, are mired in conflicting perspectives. The rational perspective. Jungian psychology is a rational methodology, soundly founded in logical premises and established by practical therapeutic principles. Now, if you're a Jungian therapist, especially a Jungian therapist hoping to bill an insurance company, you would by nature embrace a rational methodology founded in logical premise. People don't pay shamans and mystics for medical care. But in perspective, in contrast, there's also, of course, the more mystical approach to this corpus of Jungian psychology. It is an enlightened and revitalized map of the psyche, appreciative of the word psyche's full transpersonal intentions, closely akin to the profound spiritual traditions of both East and West. And then a third perspective, commonly found, prominent in some recent literature, the occult and nefarious evaluation. Jungian psychology, and perhaps Jung the man himself, is a hodgepodge of highly idiosyncratic mysticism and obscurantism, rooted in a misguided 19th century German romanticism, and by its very Germanic nature, linked to the horrors of the Holocaust. Different ways of seeing this man, Jung. And I assure you that with narrowly focused vision, each of those positions can, and indeed has, been argued as the singular truth of Jung. But I suggest that to understand Carl Gustav Jung, to have any hope of understanding him, we simply must let our vision encompass a much, much, much larger vista of possibilities. Thankfully, Jung did leave us one autobiographical statement. The book was published under the name Memories, Dreams, Reflections. It was highly edited. The family itself of Jung, the surviving family after his death, because Jung stated that this autobiography would not be published until he was dead, was extremely concerned about the image that would be given to the world of this man. They were concerned about the legacy, I think perhaps more than the truth. And so the biography received some editing. But by the noble effort of its editors, the vast majority of the important statements of Jung are indeed preserved in that work. And I would advise you, if you would wish to seek one text for this course, even if you've read it a dozen times, go back and take one more look at that book. Because I think you'll come away from that book with the key to the puzzle, the key to the bag of pieces in that sack. And if there is perhaps a master picture that might help you in piecing that puzzle together, I suggest to you it is the image of a wizard. Wizard. Weit. Weit. Wissen. Wissen. Wisdom. Weit. Weit. vis, vedere, vision. Weit, wit, git, guide. Weit, ved, Veda. There you have 3, 5, 7 millennia of the linguistic history of the word wizard. A history of Indo-European sounds, of the Indo-European tongue. The word wizard is rooted in a very ancient sound, V.A.V. The linguistics of past centuries, in the 17th and 18th century, perhaps the 18th and 19th century, better stated, came to realize, particularly in the confrontation with Sanskrit, that there were common roots in the languages of people scattered across a vast range of the Earth's geography, across the Asian subcontinent of India, Middle East, into Europe. And these words seem to have a common source, common roots. Several hundred of these roots have been collected, and the evidence of their presence found in the various tongues passing from India to Wales, from north to south. And one of the key words, one of the words of power in this old language, was that word, V.A.V. It meant, apparently, by all evidence of linguistic history, by its appearance in dozens of tongues, descendant of that original tongue, it meant to know. To know and also to see and know. But the seeing and the knowing were not just of a material nature. In our world, we live once again on a rather single-visioned plane. Our vision is single vision. We see what we see, what we with visual impression see outwardly. But in the root, in the source of our language, seeing had a duality. People saw outward. They saw also the unseen, inward. In the Germanic tongues, V.A.V., vis, wissen, to know. In the south of France, the tongues of Languedoc, a different transformation. V.A.V. became guide. To guide. How does one guide? Through the dark forest, on the unseen path. One knows the way. One sees. One has a vision. In Sanskrit, V.A.V., Ved, Veda, Veda, knowledge. Perhaps in the Sanskrit we have first evidences of what this Ved, this Veda, this vis was, what this knowledge was, what this vision was. The Vedic hymns took final form at least 1,000 years before Christ, 3 millennia ago. The Rig Veda, the corpus of Vedic hymns, gives us an image of what those ancient Indo-European fathers and mothers of ours meant with this word. Rig means a stanza, a verse of praise. The V.A.V, the stanzas of knowledge. Who were they written by? Legend says that they can be attributed to the vision, V.A.V, of seers. Seers, V.A.V. Or perhaps to an exhalation of divine breath.